the corner, but it's this time
After dark.
What's up, everybody? It is Stan Grubb, Rob Hefner, Brian Taylor, and of course, the one and only Magic City Motormouth himself, Fast Eddie Lane.
Or as we call it, this is where we can take the muzzle off Brian.
No, definitely. Like, I won't even cuss. That'll be
Yeah, right. Go figure. You'll pop 16 fecal references in the second hour in regulation PG. Turn around, we go after hours. Poo-poo.
All the fans have been waiting for 6 months to hear After Dark, and what do we do? Nothing.
Nothing.
Hi. Have you all seen the new episode of
Hey, that was a good John Cena impression.
Oh, wow.
I'm the face that runs the place. You're gonna get in there, you're gonna go through me.
Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road.
Can you see in like 20 years they're going to bring him out? Son of a bitch! I'm the face that runs the place.
Wow. I wonder how much longer he'll go, though.
It's a good question.
And does he get Flair's...
He's going to beat Flair.
He will break Flair's
record.
Okay,
Flair.
whoa. This is where I argue this point ardently. And
not just heavily, but ardently.
I will argue this
to Thor too.
And I'm not afraid to use it.
Whoa, put it back.
Whoa, buddy.
Maybe after hours, but we have ratings.
Yes, and here's where everybody listening, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that the chat room at beyondringside.com is open, and I challenge anybody, ANYONE, anyone, to come back on this. I want to see what you've got to say. I want to know what's on your mind. BeyondRingside.com, chat is open. You know the Corner to Corner Twitter account. You know the Beyond Ringside Twitter account. If you're listening on the live version on this 26th day of June, hit us up on social media. Fire back at will. Come on. There is no chance in hell that John Cena gets 16 because, A, over the course of time, the WWE Championship was not always known as the World Heavyweight Championship. Number 2, John Cena has won 15 with the same company. Ric Flair won 16, should be more, with multiple companies. You cannot put John Cena and Ric Flair in the same breath. Ric Flair is the greatest world champion or champion of all time. John Cena is the best WWE champion of all time.
So in the morning, you understand what happened.
I mean, I think that you can.
Your Diet Coke.
I think you can compare that to like you and I were talking about NASCAR earlier. You know, they always say who is the greatest NASCAR driver of all time.
Richard
and it's
Petty.
Like, it's different eras, different circumstances. You know, no one's going to be where like Richard Petty running 56 races a year or 80 races a year or that kind of. Of course, you can win 30 races a year when you're racing 90 times or whatever.
Right.
But, also, back in the Ric Flair era, it was a committee that decided who was the champ and who kept the belt and who lost the belt.
Right.
WWE, one man has the say. Granted, they have a committee of writers, but ultimately the strap belongs to Vince, and he decides who wears it and who doesn't.
Well, I kind of take the argument that it's kind of like Jordan and LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
In their era, they're both great, but put them together, and Cena can't hold Flair's.
Jockstrap.
Okay. I thought for a second you were going to go down a different path, and I was about to flip shit.
Well, I was wondering.
And it's stand with the first fecal reference.
Slide my first one in so we could go R-rated and just, we need to just break that.
You already typed it.
Well, yeah, I typed it, but.
Because so many people, and we don't normally talk about basketball, or really other sports except for maybe NASCAR, but so many people.
We don't talk that anymore because I get eye rolls from you all.
I just can't always follow. I'm sorry. But so many people try to talk about the comparison between LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
There is no comparison between LeBron James and Michael Jordan.
But for
there's the greatest
era,
of all time, and there's that guy that's entry level out of high school.
Right, but for their era, LeBron is the greatest today. For his era.
Okay, who did, Kobe came straight out of Lower Merion, and LeBron came out of what high school?
I think he came out of kindergarten.
Okay. Because you can compare those two.
I mean, he was King James at the age of 4 or something.
You can compare LeBron James and Kobe Bryant. You cannot compare LeBron James and Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan played for the University of North Carolina, and whereas had that college experience, LeBron came straight out of high school and granted has done remarkably well, but let's go, and you have to, if you want to make a fair comparison on careers, it's this LeBron versus Kobe. Granted, LeBron's gone to 6 straight NBA finals and has won 3 of them. How many times has Kobe gone and how many times has he won?
Well, yeah, but I'm not a basketball fan. I'm just using it. If you turn on a sports radio, that's the argument.
So I guess for the WWE or professional wrestling comparison, it would be John Cena. Am I wrong to say it would be John Cena and Triple H?
Good.
Okay, fair
You
enough.
know?
Yeah, fair enough comparison.
You know, because in my opinion, Triple H is creeping up on that record as well.
Right. He's at 14, 13?
I think 13.
You know, and
Or maybe even
not
12.
far.
Is he 12?
Not far behind him is Randy Orton.
Oh,
You're right there? Catch your breath. Catch your breath.
Just seeing him on, like, even on the show Swerved, I just wanted to, like, punch my television.
You know, Rob, to me, Rob is an
Don't do
old
that.
school
I
fan.
can tell you, can't take.
Rob is an old school. Rob reminds me of watching the old footage from the 70s, 80s, and there would be that old woman that would just be screaming her bloody head off, waiting to knife somebody walking down the aisle.
That'd be the wrestling
That's
grandma.
Rob to me.
That's the wrestling grandma. We all love those.
That's Rob. Rob's the wrestling grandma of the show. He gets so excited
I
sometimes.
just can't stand Randy Orton.
I can't
don't
either.
like him either.
I would gladly watch Roman Reigns over Randy Orton any day.
Wait a minute.
Like,
I don't know if
Randy Orton's hurt. I'm like, woohoo!
I think Randy
Not
benefited.
that I want to hurt
though.
him. You know, just,
Right.
I think Randy benefited to get his titles. He just happened to be the next best talker behind Cena at the time,
I mean, give it.
and they gave it to
Well,
him.
I think it's comparable to when all the big guys jumped ship out of the company.
Right.
You know, when all the big guys jumped out of WWE, then WWE's like, oh crap, who are we going to put it on?
Right.
So then you had your Brett, you had your Shawn Michaels, and you had those guys who, you know, if the roster had stayed the same,
They wouldn't have
would
gotten
have
that
never
shot.
even seen that
Yeah.
elevation.
Right.
But because they were in the right place at the right time,
Right. Well,
you know,
I,
like DDP. You know, like in WCW at that time, if DDP, like, would he have ever held the world title in WCW if their talent hadn't been going downhill and the NWO had beaten down everybody else?
I think with Diamond Dallas Page, it's a unique situation.
Right.
Because he was the right guy, the right place at the right time, and he had the goods. I mean, he had everything that you need in a top performer.
Right.
The only detriment to Diamond Dallas Page was his age.
right. He was 42.
I mean, yeah, he started off at 38 when he first started.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, it's his challenge was more of battling Father Time, where Randy Orton, I mean, giving the devil his due, is a talented performer. He's definitely not in the caliber of performer that they claim he is. I don't think he could really hold his own in the ring against a guy like Jay Lethal or Roderick Strong. I think in Ring of Honor, you want to talk about a guy that couldn't hang in Ring of Honor.
Right.
I think Randy Orton.
Put him in there with
Yeah.
Nakamura and see what happens.
Well,
Put
that's
him in
the
there
problem.
Put him in there with old Samoa Joe and see what happens.
There's a part of me, and I'm not going to hide it, there's a part of me that kind of wishes Samoa Joe could give Randy Orton a muscle buster the hard way. Just saying.
Or the first time he has to take a Styles Clash.
Well,
He'll be the guy
He's
that
too
gets
tall.
attacked by a Styles Clash.
You know,
It'll be Orton.
I would not be shocked, though, with this brand extension, that there is a certain type of wrestler on one show,
Right. And where
and
they
everybody else
on the other.
goes over here.
The coddled on one, the
Right.
ones that can go over here.
Right. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, if you were to split certain people up, so let's say you had Joe, AJ, the club, and Nakamura on one, and then Balor, Aries, some of these other newer talent on the other. Mm-hmm. There are some, your roster would be just shit out of luck. because there are some guys that just cannot do what they do.
Which brings me to something that pissed me off. Yet again, and this
Besides
is
his mom turning off the Wi-Fi.
Damn it! How much she does that? Damn it, Mom! I could have killed you then. You ever seen Mr. and Mrs. Smith?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So Vince Vaughn's character, he's got the shotgun in the basement. Great movie. Anyway, so this thing I heard on Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw, Michael Cole says this. What happens if they split up the New Day with the draft? What happens if the club No! That is the absolute worst decision ever. Why the hell would you want to take these made tag teams, these made stables, these proven commodities, and just to satisfy your idiotic ego and what you can think you can do creatively to write, why would you split them up just to say, I can make so-and-so a star? Hey, it didn't work for Vince Russo. It didn't work for Ed Ferrara. It damn sure didn't work for Eric Bischoff when he went to TNA. How are you any different? I hate when they do this.
Well,
it's the same thing as bringing in oh, wait a minute. Look at this tag team. They just happen to be number 1 and number 2 in the Royal Rumble.
Right. It's very cliched. It's played out. And honestly, it's bullshit.
Well, it kind of like...
Dudley's.
Did it.
It's something...
Oh, yeah.
Dudley's.
And I'll come back to the whole roster thing here in a second, but talk about something else that's cliched, is for your champion to come out and sit at the announce table, and then his opponent, the next pay-per-view, rolls out the ring and flips him out the chair.
Yeah.
That's just some other stupid bullshit.
Or the contract signing where somebody inevitably goes through the table.
Right.
It never ends with just the contract getting signed.
Like, why are we signing these things in the ring anyway?
Right.
We know it's crap.
Yeah. You only print off one piece of paper, the other ones are blank. We know that. We got it.
And you can't even fit it in the portfolio? Come on now. Yeah. I mean, how much money do you have in WWE?
But getting back to... again, I think they've learned from their mistakes. I would not be shocked if Triple H has a bigger part to play, and that quite possibly the reason he's not on TV is he's going to make sure this shit works. And that he's, learning whatever it takes to run a brand, and, maybe they're drawing up the draft properly so they don't do the stupid stuff.
Hey, Brian.
What?
He's not only proven he can run a brand, he's also proven the fact that he can kick the main roster's ass.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's why I'm hoping he has more, they allow... Maybe this is where Vince says, okay, here, Hunter, run your show. This is your show. I'm giving you the reins. I'm moving on. What?
I think the problem they would have, or a danger thing they have, like what you were saying, if they put, your
We're running a show here,
your Nakamura's and your AJ Styles and those kind of people that have the strong style, let's say, if you put those people all on one roster, then I think it becomes, your brand split becomes very one-sided.
Well, yeah,
because then you have it's not the same product. I mean, granted, it differentiates itself from each one, but then, if I'm in charge of the WWE as a whole, I want that on both shows.
But to me, it cannot be the same. It has to be different. One has to be different than the other. If not, there's no reason for a split. Just make it a 6 hours worth of wrestling program for the week. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Then what's the third show going to be?
Well, no, 3 on Raw, 3 on SmackDown.
Screw that. Stop the insanity. Stop the presses. No. Do not take SmackDown 3 hours. Please, for the love of all that is right, for the love of all that is sane, please quit doing 3-hour freaking shows. Break it down into 3 2-hour shows. Keep the continuity and go back to an old school rule of thumb. Always leave them wanting more. Right now.
Oh my God, we gotta go!
No, Mama, no.
1, 2, we're out of time!
God.
Oh, and look, they've already proven the fact that they can go old school. Look at this past Monday night when they had the old school pull apart. They had the Broadway running with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. They took it up the ramp into the back and had the pull apart in the back with security, no other talent getting involved. Fine, that is good. That's traditional thinking, because when JBL sat back and said, they can end this here tonight, I'm sitting back going, bullshit, you cockhead. There is no way they're going to end this feud on a Monday Night Raw. That is a WrestleMania feud.
This has got a no hold barred anywhere street fight kind of. You can't. Yeah.
I don't even know if I'd let that feud ever end. You know what I'm saying?
Hell in a cell.
It kind of reminds me of when Kevin Sullivan was feuding with Benoit.
Yep.
And every single week, every single month, there was another.
One of them's head went in a urinal.
Yeah, I mean, they just did some of the craziest, but it was hard hitting, and everybody was interested. And it really didn't matter. It could have been about the real life thing about woman, or it could have been because they didn't like each other, but because one was from the Dungeon of Doom and one.
You know what I'd do? You know what I'd do? I'd have Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens for months, keep it going, and then have a tag team tournament. Put them together and have them win the belts.
Oh,
so then they have to be forced to work together.
Listen to this.
Meanwhile,
Austin Michaels
still hating each other.
Austin Michaels,
you know, and like Kevin Owens would try to lose the belt so he didn't have to work, but then all of a sudden, for some reason, it would work out to where they would win. You know.
Stone Cold versus teamed up with Shawn Michaels. Remember for that tag team run?
Mm-hmm. I do. It was actually really cool.
It was. Yeah. So I mean that it holds merit, and it's proven the fact that it can work. That two dire enemies can actually work together. Remember the WrestleMania moment when you had Austin Michaels and Foley coming out onto the stage to come down and shout, "What 3 men in history could never beat 4?" Okay, that was the dumbest thing they could have ever said, Wade Barrett. But by the same token, it worked because it got the fans to pop like big dogs when you saw HBK come out. I'm going to slow down and breathe for a second. When you saw HBK come out in the camo chaps, and I mean, people were okay with Foley coming out. It's like, okay, feel good moment, Austin Foley. And then when you heard the glass, there was no more ceiling left. And the first thing popped in my mind is, well, let's see. Austin and Michaels held tag team gold. Austin and Foley had tag team gold. And Shawn only held tag team gold with Marty Jannetty and with Triple H.
Yep.
So theoretically, you didn't have. I mean, but you had a loose connection there. And amazingly enough, Austin was the stabilizing factor. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, I think that's a feud though you could just run for years. I mean, you can walk away from it and then immediately just walk right back into it. I know today's modern fans have short attention spans, but any fan of the 70s and 80s, some of these feuds would last
years.
Yeah, but some of us are dying off.
Was like 2.5, 3 years. You know,
Tully and Magnum.
Yeah.
Well, Hogan and the Heenan family went on almost the entire 80s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hogan and anybody.
Actually, Stan, the only reason why that worked is because Bobby Heenan kept sending different people up against Hogan. You had the stabilizing factor of Heenan in place, but it was never Bobby Heenan directly involved in the ring except for once every 6 months when Heenan would take a bump at the hands of Hogan.
Right, that's why I said the Heenan
family. A professional bump.
Dressed in the Weasel costume.
The Weasel.
WrestleMania 3. In the dog suit. When the dog suit came out. You're not biting me!
And I will still sit back and say Bobby Heenan is one of the 5 greatest managers of all time.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's hear 1 through 5.
I have Bobby Heenan. Well, okay, I don't have 1 through 5 in my head right now. I don't have it directly on the screens.
Way to put you on the spot, right?
No problem. Skandor Akbar, Bobby Heenan, Gary Hart, Jim Cornette, and Paul Heyman.
Huh? Ooh, not bad. I might have to throw Ellering in there.
Ellering was a one-trick wonder as far as the Road Warriors go, just like Jimmy Dillon was a one-trick wonder with the Four Horsemen.
That's a hell of a trick you're talking about.
Yeah, I know, it's one of the biggest tricks, and by the same token, he was also good on the microphone, but look at the talent that Gary Hart worked with back in the late 70s and through the 80s with Georgia Championship Wrestling. He is the one who helped put Muta on the map and was the best possible spokesman that Muta could have had, or the great Kabuki. I'm sorry, I meant to say Kabuki first.
Yeah, maybe a little Paul Jones, too.
Paul Jones was passable with the powers of pain. He had his moments, and of course, when he was...
Rude and Manny Fernandez.
Yeah.
That was a good little tag team.
Yes, it was. World Tag Team Champions for the NWA. Mm-hmm. Of course, Lou Albano should be mentioned in there. How many times did he take a team to the WWF Tag Team Gold?
What about Jimmy Hart?
No.
What about him?
I can't buy Jimmy Hart.
What?
Not compared to the rest.
The Hart Foundation.
Jimmy Hart's greatest thing.
Twice?
And I like Jimmy Hart.
Man.
Well, yeah, but that's
He
honky.
was the greatest intercontinental champion of all time.
That's honky.
He was cool.
That's honky. He was
cocky.
cocky.
He was bad.
But yeah, I don't think Jimmy Hart stacks up in that. Some of these managers, you have to remember, Akbar and Hart literally ran a federation. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they
Whereas
also
Hart, he was watered down with others.
the thing about Hart and the thing about Akbar is they took very offbeat circumstances and brought them into the limelight for people to get a better grasp of.
Colonel
Like
Robert
the
Parker,
missing link.
the stud stable.
No, I'm not buying it.
No.
Yeah,
What?
No.
Yeah.
Colonel Robert Parker was a bad idea. I mean, it was a thing, but it was a one-hit thing in
Sensational
WCW.
Sherry.
Love her to death.
I will give you that.
Miss Elizabeth.
I like
No.
Sherry.
Miss Elizabeth and Randy
Elizabeth,
Savage.
no.
If you take
Elizabeth
Randy
was not a
Savage out of the
manager, she
equation,
was a
you never
valet.
know who she is.
Elizabeth's the valet. She should not be considered.
Miss
a manager.
Elizabeth's shining moment was taking her skirt off in SummerSlam.
And SummerSlam, yes. Nice ass.
The other thing was her crying, her fake crying and running to the ring when Randy Savage got hurt in his career match. Other than that,
Wow.
Because
hey, I love Miss Elizabeth, but no.
Look, Liz Hewlett was a very beautiful woman who had a great on-screen presence, but as far as it goes, as far as working a microphone and building up a match, negative, good buddy. Ain't gonna happen.
What about Bill Alfonso?
Fonzie? That's,
Fonzie, I don't think survives outside of ECW.
J.J. Dillon.
Horseman.
Yeah, I mean, with the Horsemen, you've got that just carries him. I think.
Right.
Now,
Grand Wizard, Arnold Scotland,
Skoland.
whatever.
Whatever.
It's spelled with A's. Too many A's in that damn name.
There you go. Actually, the Golden Boy Arnold Skoland, remember, he was the manager for Bob Backlund throughout the entire of his 5+ year run as WWF champion. And then from there, I believe he was also at one point the manager for Bruno Sammartino.
What about Mr. Fuji?
Oh, yeah, I forgot Fuji.
I liked Fuji.
Edison!
I liked Fuji when he was in-ring competitor right alongside of Mr. Saito.
Yeah.
Yeah, the night that they won the WWF Tag Team Championships off of Tony Garea and Rick Martel by throwing salt in Rick Martel's eyes.
Hey, that is Mr. Fuji's racist song, if you ask Edgy Christian.
You know, you got to wonder how pro wrestling survived this long with the just straight up stereotype that you could not do today.
I mean, you can't be a black wrestler and not have a rap gimmick. You can't be Chinese and not have a karate gimmick. I mean, there was a lot of.
If you had a country accent, you were wearing suspenders or overalls.
And spitting tobacco.
Don't go messing with a country boy, country boy, country boy.
Yeah. You're coming out with a Confederate flag on something. Or come down, wigged out on PCP with laces on your boots.
Draws.
Oh. He's got a puke.
Yup. Isn't there a bottom of the hour in your immediate future?
Say what, sir?
There's a bottom of the hour in our immediate future.
Holy cow, it's break time.
Oh, wow. It's 11:30.
Let's go ahead and head into our final break of the evening here, and we'll finish it on up here at Corner to Corner After Dark. We'll be right back.
It's After Dark.
See you in a moment.
Hello.
Hi.
No, but I should be.
You can't laugh when you're doing something like that.
Welcome to After. We're going to change it to After Hours because After Dark is stupid since the sun's already down. For
Kidding.
Those who are not in this area.
We're learning. We're doing some book learning.
Corner to Corner. After Hours.
So it's not extra.
Extra.
No, get your kibosh.
No Mario Lopez.
So put that back, Stan.
Damn it. I thought you wanted it out.
There was a question that was asked.
Nobody has any tweezers. Nobody pulled out the microscope.
We're not doing this again.
Brian and I were in Canada. We did not learn the metric system.
Okay, now wait a second. I have to do this because, Brian, you were talking about something before we even started the After Hours bit, and the damn thing never got brought up.
Well, you go lay it on me.
Wait a minute. I know what he's talking about.
Oh, Stan. Go on, lay it out there, Stan.
We were talking about with the... All right, this is uncomfortable. This is definitely awkward.
Lay it out there, Stan, the one-eyed wonder. No.
You know what, Eddie? I don't know how to say this.
It's a magic fireman.
I think you're talking about the other subject that was brought up and not the one that I was intending.
Well, apparently it doesn't matter what subject gets brought up right now.
Because somebody's just going to make it awkward as hell.
Childish antics ensue.
Dirty.
Bowman would fit in perfectly in this part of the bit.
So anyway, there was a question brought up while we were off the air, just heading into After Hours, of would a certain female talent finally get the call?
That's it.
Oh, that one.
Gallows.
The NWA Women's World Champion, Amber O'Neal, the Bullet Babe.
Amber Gallows,
that was
yes.
my question posed to
That's
That
what I
was
meant.
his question.
everybody else.
That's
You
what I
hadn't
said.
picked up on it. That was Brian's question.
I
That
did
was
say
the
that.
question I posed.
Yes.
Posed.
That's the one I was talking about. Logistically speaking, Amber Gallows does have what it takes to be in NXT and on the WWE main roster. It's just unfortunately, in this particular timeline, the way that they're nursing everything right now, you would have a knockout, gorgeous blonde who unfortunately can work and work well. I've worked with Amber Gallows on a number of occasions.
Does Luke know that?
Yes, and he's even been on a couple of the cards.
Oh, wow. Oh, it gets funky down in hot Atlanta. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, buddy. But by the same token, I have to sit back and say this, regardless of
Talking like
her,
I'm looking in a city, if you were you.
but regardless of her work rate right now, unfortunately with Charlotte and Dana Burke and some of the others like Carmella, unfortunately I think Amber would get lost in the shuffle because of the fact that even though she is good on a microphone, I think people would be looking at her to be piggybacking on the success of Luke and Machine Gun, Carl Anderson. I don't know how well it would be received for Amber to be a part of the roster right now, but I'll tell you the truth, I'd love to see it. Amber is a great talent. She is a great champion, and I think she would fit in well. But that's just me.
Well, she did give the old, what do you call it? The old,
Too sweet, bro.
coming out Friday night, so I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, and from there, when they did the 6-woman tag on the Women of Honor series, okay, this week's edition of Ring of Honor is actually the Women of Honor, for which I'm eternally grateful that they did that. And you had a 6-woman tag match in place with,
You know what?
huh?
Rob yawned. I told him it was perfect.
It'll be all right, buddy.
I'm
Just
almost,
keep going, Eddie. Don't mind Brian. He didn't take his pill until a few minutes
No,
ago.
actually, I did just take my pill.
It's got to kick in.
What happens now?
Yeah, but
He'll be asleep in 5,
with
4.
3, 2.
He'll be asleep and drooling before the next break.
Yes.
Well, next time.
I don't think that Amber O'Neal would get lost in the shuffle after the break.
Stan's finally put his phone down and decided to talk.
I think that Amber O'Neal has the potential to really be a standout star there, but I also think that she has...
Stan, you cannot make a profile on FarmersOnly.com. You're not a farmer.
FarmersOnly.com.
Please remind Stan it was a llama, not a sheep.
Oh.
Hey, back when men were men and sheep were scared.
That was bad.
God, you're awful. I don't even know what to say anymore.
Screw you guys for judging me.
It was cold.
That sheep identifies as a human.
I needed the money. You don't understand.
He didn't need the money. Screw that.
Sheep porn's a big business somewhere.
They love it in Ireland. Don't they?
No, it would probably be the Middle East. If I can just insult everybody.
Thank you for calling tech support. This is Bob.
No, that's more like India. That's different.
What is the problem with your computer today?
The insensitive comments from Stan and Grub are not the view of Beyond Ringside.
Hey, it's after hours, isn't it? He gets to say shit.
It doesn't mean the ACLU is still listening. Dumb fuck.
I will say that's why I left Verizon.
Can we get back on the tracks?
There is no track.
Yeah, fuck it.
After hours.
And Eddie just dropped the F-bomb and it's not even Wednesday.
After hours is like that, like the part of the interstate where it looks like nowhere, it goes nowhere, but like what the hell?
We have that. It's called I-22 at the end right near 65 in Birmingham. It's just like right after, it stops at Coalburg, and God knows they've had 3 years to fix the bastard, but nope, they ain't got that done yet.
Pennsylvania's got a road like that. It ends below the overpass, right into some woods.
Yeah, the same one.
Damnedest thing I ever saw. I
was
like, wow, look at that shit. That's stupid.
Well, I mean, like Alabama, when we drove to New Orleans, like Alabama, you get around like Roll Tide country, you know?
Roll damn Tide.
It's like before you get to the campus, the interstate's like 4 lanes. In both directions. So you're like, wow, we can go. No, we get around the campus, that shit goes down to 2 lanes. I'm going, when you expect it to be big, because obviously Alabama, everyone's going to come to football.
Right.
No, we're going to shove it down to 2 lanes.
Yep.
2 lanes.
Because we want to see if you're going to get off and buy some peanut brittle at Stuckey's.
Or buy some fireworks.
What the hell?
Stuckey's.
They got the blue roof.
It's big down south, apparently.
Stan hasn't traveled.
Not down south, apparently.
Stan doesn't get out much.
You go down.
Damn.
Oh, see?
He does go down south.
You guys dirty horse. You dirty horse. Both of you, dirty horse.
That's not what you were saying yesterday.
If you're listening on the live side, folks, you are listening to Corner to Corner After Hours. Stan, Rob, Brian, and I'm still sitting in on this shit tonight. Fast Eddie laying behind the control panel.
This would be our highest rated hour ever.
Right.
Or the last hour ever.
Or the last After Hours ever, considering.
This is our first After Hours. Thanks for listening. We'll never be back again.
The Midnight Black Mass will be back next week in its regular time slot.
Yeah.
But
reference away.
Seriously, coming back over to it, the Women of Honor bit, you had Amber O'Neal Gallows in there along with Crazy Mary Dobson. You had just once again another one of my pure favorites.
Yeah, she comes out in like some hockey mask or something.
Yeah, Jason, Friday the 13th. You had one of my favorites, AK-47, Allison Kay, Sumi Sakai, Thunder Kitty. I mean, you had 6 premier female athletes in that ring. And they put on a very good match on the Women of Honor. Now, the main event, I have not made it all the way through yet. I've got it on freeze frame because I started drooling before the last break. And that is actually the best that I have ever seen Mandy Leon look. And of course, Hanaya the Howling Huntress, she is just beautiful and can work, and that's what I love.
Indian. Native American, I guess.
All of the above.
Wolf head.
Nice.
Cool.
I'm sorry, you said Howling Huntress, and I just gave everybody a
how you doing?
He gave us a hairy eyeball.
I was like, huh?
And this is something that I've really got to sit back and say, because Ring of Honor in this 1 hour has just totally yet again, even with Charlotte, Becky Lynch, Sasha Banks, Paige, Natty Neidhart, 5 of the best period in the world as far as in-ring talent. They've just shown that they can put together a 1 hour with 2 singles and 1 6-person tag match and just absolutely take it to WWE all over again.
Well, I think the problem with what you just said about like Natty and the ones in WWE is that WWE hasn't taken the reins off and let them do what they do.
They do on certain events.
When they were in NXT, they did it. But then they brought them to the main roster, and they're trying to diva-fy them.
Yeah, they're trying to tell them to wrestle like divas.
You know?
When they first got down to NXT, and then they were told
to wrestle.
Not that. Wrestle. Go wrestle. And that's what made them stand out and be different in NXT.
I just know when Rob talks, it looks like he's got gloss on his lips, and it's really getting to me right now.
Is it glistening?
Yeah. It's really getting to me.
It's the glisten. Oh!
Hey, Rob.
Staying at home.
Hey, Rob.
Yeah, I actually like Thunder Kitty's look. It's like a throwback to 1930s. It's some crazy little look.
50s, yeah.
Yeah.
So the Cruiserweight Classic began taping this week.
Cruiserweight Classic.
This is,
No spoilers.
from Triple H's own mouth, a brand new brand.
Wow.
He's
Nice.
launching a brand, he says.
Nice.
So, from that impression of what I've heard from it, and I have not seen any spoilers, just names listed for the roster.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is there anything this guy can't put together?
No.
I mean, he put together NXT from nothing. From a crappy reality show idea that Vince had, because he didn't want ECW to go any further. He took it and he made it FCW and then ultimately what we have today. Now we've got the Cruiserweight Classic, which has some of the very best in the world, period. That, from what I'm reading and what I'm seeing as far as just the preview, no spoilers again, sounds like just a stacked roster. Brian, you've got a rundown of some of them.
I just jotted down a couple names that I thought were quite interesting. I think number one out the gate was actually Brian Kendrick, which totally blew my mind. I was not expecting that one. So that'll be fun to watch because I actually liked his little crazy, I'm a little psycho gimmick there towards the end.
The Brian Kendrick.
Yeah. Cedric Alexander.
Yay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know much about this next one, but I didn't get his first name, but it's Daivari's brother. He looks to be a little bit bigger than Daivari was, a little bit more put together. So he actually could be interesting to watch. Tajiri
Yoshihiro?
Yeah. Gargano, who I think got a pretty good reaction.
Yeah.
Sabre Jr.
Yep.
I don't want to butcher anybody's names here.
Ibushi, yep.
And then, God, I can't pronounce his last one. Save my life because I always screwed up.
Ciampa.
Tommaso Ciampa, the Sicilian psychopath, yes.
Mm-hmm. So those were some of the names I just jotted down. I wasn't really familiar with a lot of the other ones. I don't think I wrote it down, but there is one guy from China.
Mm-hmm.
Comes from China, which is odd because I don't know if I've ever seen anybody from China with any type of style. But I think he was 18 years old, and he created like China's first pro wrestling federation.
Right.
Which, once I find his name, I'll keep an eye on him. But I thought it was interesting because they broke them down by talent, and they also announced what country they came from. So I kind of like that because it gives it more of a global feel to it, even though it may not be.
Kind of like a best of the best tournament.
Mm-hmm.
They treat it like legit competition, which instantly is going to draw your attention.
World X Cup.
Say what?
World X Cup.
I very much like that, yes. You definitely. And it's again, it's not necessarily a brand new concept, but it is taking a concept that's been done and making it your own and helping it blossom and branch it out, which is something that TNA was great at creating ideas, but not necessarily branching it out, whereas WWE knows what they're doing. Or to quote Ole Anderson, knows what the fuck they're doing.
I mean, you got the WWE machine behind it, and as I said on one of our first shows, with what Triple H has done with NXT and what he's going to do with the the Cruiserweight Classic, and whatever else, WWE is going to create their own competition.
Right.
WWE is going to create their own demise with their current product, with what they're bringing up and what fans are going. Because this generation of fan, the smart fan as we call it, is gravitating to more towards what NXT is bringing than what your main roster is bringing. Because when you bring your NXT people to the main roster, but you don't let them be NXT, your main roster-fying them, then they might as well go back to NXT, and that's what your fans are going to want.
Right.
So like Enzo and Cass. I mean, look at that. Enzo and Cass. They came to the main roster. First time they showed up, everybody in that stadium knew
Oh yeah,
every word of their
Yep.
promo
Yep.
from jump.
And they haven't stepped away from what made them big in NXT yet.
Exactly.
They haven't stepped out of that path, and they continue to be the most over tag team since maybe the New Day.
And I think we mentioned them earlier. Ascension. I think creatively, the WWE might have learned why repackage what is already successful.
Right. I mean, they could have just had them run in, lay out tag teams, and the Ascension would have been made.
Right. Well, I think
Literally.
I think the thing about the Ascension, because there was somebody else, I think they come up, a singles wrestler, they came up about the same time, and he kind of got squashed too.
Adam Rose, Tyler Breeze.
Tyler Breeze really has suffered a lot since getting called up.
But I honestly think
Character's too
not
one-dimensional.
only is there an evolution with the in-ring product, but there's an evolution in the back. Where, and I hope I'm right on this. Again, I don't know anything about it, but I hope I'm right. Where Triple H has earned Vince's confidence more, and Vince is getting to the point where, well, I need to push this. I need to give this to somebody else.
Right.
Who do I give it to? Who's going to carry this forward? And maybe Triple H's influence a lot of this stuff. Because, again, I don't think without Triple H, you don't have NXT.
Right.
What it is today.
Okay.
And I hope he is finally getting, his call up in the back to move the whole entire brand forward.
Well, I think you also have gotten to the point where, and again, you just be shooting the shit, not knowing what I'm talking about, but you're getting to the point where also Triple H is showing that him, like if he's in charge of the book, it's just not a way for him to put him and his friends over.
Exactly. It's not the same guy. Yeah.
It's not the same back in the day when
Kevin Nash.
People got the book.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. The book, I got the book now, so I can get the title, I can give my friends a title, I can give my friends the main event. Triple H is showing he's doing what is best for business.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, because with Triple H, what he has seen, he's seen both sides of it. I mean, he's seen the Clique and how they dominated and took over backstage, and then everyone was put over that they wanted, and everybody else paid the price.
Right.
And then he's also seen what happens when you have an old school guy who doesn't do what's best for business and pays the price the hard way, much like what Bret Hart had to go through. So he's seen it from a lot of different angles, so now he knows better than anybody, I would say, how to do it. Mm-hmm. I mean, we saw what he did when he was in the ring on top and also running the show. And while, yes, there's a lot that can be said that he was burying certain talents, it was also being done in a way, I'm starting to see it now, looking back, that it was done in a way to elevate more people.
Well, I think that the issue with that is I don't really think, even though he may have had an influence, it was all that great. Because at that time. Because, again, up until recently, Vince has had his hand in the cookie jar.
Oh, yeah.
And nobody else is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But with the Cruiserweight tournament, now I want y'all to know there are maybe one or two homegrown talents out of 32.
Right. It seems very deliberate for that.
Right.
They chose a couple guys that they're familiar with, and they're not even truly under contract.
Right.
Gargano and Ciampa are under pay-per-appearance deals.
Well, yeah, but I think there's one other guy that they make mention that he is trained, like that was his start, was NXT. Nowhere else.
Right.
That was it. So there's only one or two homegrown, actual, legitimate talent. And this is where I'm saying I think the influence of Triple H is starting to come through, because I don't think without Triple H, you don't have this.
Right.
You don't have AJ Styles. You don't have none of this stuff, because I think Triple H, much like Vince used to be in the 80s, is willing to take a step and try.
Yeah.
Right. Whereas Vince is like, oh, I'm not losing $1 billion anymore.
Right.
So
one of the things that wrestling has done over time, successfully, most times, is evolve. I mean, it changes up. We see stables go to the wayside for a while and it focuses just on individual talent. We see tag teams grow and split, and we see new things happen. But what we haven't really seen yet is what I think we've kind of hinted at it earlier, the possibility of seeing a legitimate supercard type event where multiple companies work together, because we really haven't seen that since the early 80s, late 70s?
I
mean, WCW did a supercard with a few shows.
The AWA used to do supercards. Actually, I think it was Supercard 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, it was called
and there were a
Supercard.
couple other ones.
Right. But, I mean, since
WCCW.
that point, we really haven't seen, like, a legitimate supercard.
Well, I think the reason why is because, I mean, Lord, let's face it, we all thought it was funny when Eric Bischoff come out and challenged Vince McMahon to a match on pay-per-view and won the match and, after a count out. And, I think there was such animosity between the feds. That's why you didn't get it.
But what you're seeing here, getting back to Triple H, is somebody that's willing to say, you know what, squash all that. Mm-hmm. Let's do business. Let's make money. Mm-hmm. Let's help each other out. Right. What Vince used to be willing to do, and I think the only reason he doesn't do it now is because from his perspective, he doesn't have to.
Right.
Whether or not you agree or disagree with it, it really isn't the point. I mean, that's just how he feels. That's how he acts. That's what we've seen. It's very clear with what we've seen with Roman Reigns. It's what I want. It's what I like. You'll cheer for it if I tell you to.
Right, and he's actually said that whether they cheer him or they boo him,
they're talking about
right, and that's the wrong mindset.
Exactly.
That's the old mindset.
Yeah, that's the old mindset, and hopefully they'll fix that. But getting back to the supercard, especially now, you have the Bullet Club,
right?
That is a global force, scattered across.
And no, Jarrett, we're not talking about you.
Yeah, different federations.
Although he did join.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I don't know if he would ever play a part in anything major. Anyway, so, but you know what I'm saying? How cool would it be to set this up to have the Ring of Honor group in New Japan, and then next thing you know, out comes the club,
right,
to put them over the top, and then, well, we're really taking over.
Right,
we're going to do what the NWO couldn't do. We're going to destroy 3 federations. And just for 3 or 4 months, just have them destroy 3 federations until everybody's like, screw it. We're going to throw our guys together.
Make a super team.
Here we go.
The Super Friends unite.
Yeah, we're going to take on the club. And if you could do it for one pay-per-view, and that pay-per-view would probably...
the world.
Holy
crap, could you see
$1 billion. It would be the highest, probably the highest pay-per-view ever.
Eddie, how many active members of the Bullet Club are there worldwide?
God, I think only about 11.
That's 11 matches. That's almost a full pay-per-view card.
Yeah, but you see, you've got like, I think like 4 or 5 in New Japan.
Right.
4 or 5 in Ring of Honor that also go to New Japan. And then, I'm going to include the club here.
Yeah,
because, I think they're the Bullet Club. They're just, slight variation.
But Finn Balor in the Bullet Club?
Yeah. Well, I mean...
officially,
yes, but, I mean, right now on TV, no.
Creatively, no, but foolishly, yeah.
I mean, he started it. He was the first leader, I think.
mean, when you look at it, you've got so many... And plus, you've got, like, guys like Chase Owens and other members that, I guess you could call them prospects. Or
you got Scott Hall's kid.
Cody Hall, yeah. It's Cody, right?
Yeah, Cody.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fale.
Yeah.
I mean, you got him.
Is it Fale or Fail?
I thought they said Fail, but...
Eddie, do you remember how the name's pronounced?
It is Fail.
Fail.
Ron.
I mean, you got
Ron.
You got the Gorillas of Destiny or whatever they are. There's so many different people.
D-Nice in the house.
And then again, why not take a guy like John Cena and say, hey...
Let's do it. Let's turn them bad.
We're gonna go to the next golden age.
Yeah,
you're gonna be in the forefront, but we need you to be back on.
I think we're coming up on that. We talked about it earlier. I think Cena's bad guy turn is coming. I think we're going to see it, and I think it's going to be to Rob's description. I think it's going to be one of those moments like Hogan when he turned. Some people may not care, but you've always got those, especially in today's age. You've always got the fan that just like, eh.
Yeah, I think though, unlike Hogan. Because the only reason why Hogan was booed is because he was in the Carolinas. You know what I'm saying? He was down south. And we notoriously hated the northern product.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's why he got booed a lot. Whereas Cena, half the crowd loves them.
Mm-hmm.
The other half, I won't say hates them, but plays the part.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So
He's
when
the guy that's cool to hate.
Right.
He's
like a Flair. You know what I'm saying? Not to compare, but he's cool to boo him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I think when he does ultimately turn, much like Hogan when he turned, the crowd is just going to riot because the people that hated him now are going to love him. The people that love him are going to be pissed because now they got to hate him. So
you got to buy another shirt.
Yeah.
Stan.
Yes!
Stan's Life is brought to you by www.shop.com.
They know this. I mean, they should send us royalties.
He should get a rewards card.
God, no. God, no. Guys, first official after hours.
Not bad. Not
too shabby.
We were a little bit mild. But
we could go longer, but, some of us got to work in the morning.
Yep.
Yeah, he'll be down in my lap here soon. His eyes are shutting. Mouth is getting open. It ain't no telling.
talking to you, Stan?
No, I'm talking to you, sexy lips.
Whoa!
Glaze.
And apparently, after hours, Brian.
Glaze. Look at the glaze. Look at them lips. Look at Ralph's eye. No.
Brian, what'd you put?
He's all embarrassed too. Look at his cheeks.
I think Brian put something in your drink there, buddy.
Slipped him a Mickey.
Peace work. Oh, you can catch up to us on Twitter, on Facebook, all that stuff.
Because right now, debuting tonight, not only is C2C After Hours, but also...
Oh, the new Twitter account is C2C After Hours.
Because we're original.
Damn right. We are better than you. I mean, we are awesome and we like you guys. Thank you very much.
No, you can't do that. You can't.
So
Stan,
C2C
wait.
Brian,
Hold on.
Stan has obviously got the ego.
Wait. Hold on. This is an intervention. Stan.
Sir.
Just don't. There is no way that you can pull off the sarcastic, sardonic better than you heel.
All right, how about this?
Wow.
How about this? Let's try it. How about this? You people are so stupid. That was a good one. Did that work?
I'll give you a C+.
C+. All right, Rob, you want to take a shot at it?
C+.
You want to take a shot? Come on, Rob.
I don't need to take a shot at it because I have the shot. Because I don't need this. Because,
B+.
I've been there, done it, and I don't want to do it again.
I'll give him a B+ on that one.
Wow.
That was a B+?
And I wasn't even trying.
I got to stand in front of the mirror.
It's time for promo class.
Promo class.
Stan,
on it. I'm smart enough.
And people like me.
And no one then.
And then...
How can you get fired on your day off?
thank you, Friday.
You're stealing boxes for you building a clubhouse?
You eating corn?
Mama!
You don't know the password to the treehouse will get your ass kicked off the balcony.
Folks, thanks so much for hanging out with us. We appreciate it.
That's no Jones for 20 years. You spent my own 15 minutes.
We will be back live next Sunday, 9 Eastern Time, right here on the Beyond Ringside Radio Network.
Nobody going there for 45 minutes.
I like pig's feet.
My neck and my back. I'm gonna sue you for 50.
I ain't never got two things that match.
He up there in Debo's pin coop.
See, and you wonder why they don't go after hours as much as they want to, because folks, even the kindergarten has operating hours.
There are no rails for us after hours.
So I will cheat and I will do it like this. For Stan.
Remember, only you can prevent forest fires or Mickey's and Rob's drink.
For Rob.
Help!
For Brian.
Just because they tell you it's candy doesn't mean it's candy.
For the Beyond Ringside family of shows and for Corner to Corner, I'm Fast Eddie Lane saying good night.
And Eddie Lane is not responsible for anything that just proceeded.
The party's over.
And we'll swear we're going to get flagged for YouTube for y'all singing that shit.